Robby Blair is our guest from Main Street, Martinsburg. And Kevin Knowles, the mayor of the city, and the man who's also with the Eastern Panhandle Home Builders Association, said, I don't know what Robby Blair does at Main Street, Martinsburg, but the St. Patty's Day Parade seems to always be blessed with great weather. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. I just checked. 63 is the high, yeah, sunny, partially cloudy.
You can't ask for anything better.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. In fact, a couple of us were planning on, maybe we need to get some sweaters made, something like that. Nope, toss the sweaters out.
T-shirts, baby.
That's right.
T-shirts.
That's right. Might even break out some shorts.
Yeah. What are you doing there? When is your big day?
It's this Saturday.
Yeah.
From 11 to 6 p.m. in downtown Martinsburg. I mean, we always joke about the weather and whatnot, but weather aside, we have a really, really awesome day planned for people of all ages or, all persuasions of what level of Irish they are for the day.
We're all Irish.
That's
for that
right.
Day, Robby.
That's right.
Yeah.
So thanks to our partners, Ollie's VIP this year. We've got a really, really cool setup. The Gaelic Mishap is performing. We have the Pilgrims of the Deep performing for the first time, but very Dropkick Murphys style music. And due to some construction over on Burke Street on the Market House building, we've moved operations over to Martin Street, which it's a really pretty block over there, and we like to share the love to different sides of town sometimes. And we got a kid zone right over there in front of the gelato store, so like I said, it's a little bit of something for everybody, and it kicks off the year. What
year number is this one for the festival?
It's number 4.
Number 4. Tell us about the birth of this, the genesis of it.
Well, when I started, we really quickly out of the gate did our food truck festival because we were coming out of COVID and people were outside everything. How are we going to reimagine how to fundraise and stuff like that? And it was just such a big success. We turned around and did something that was October 21st, I think, in 2021. We were like, we got to figure this out for Christmas. And we did something for Christmas, and everybody loved it. So we were like, okay, how many of these street festivals can we plan to get people downtown? And that, St. Patrick's Day was the next calendar holiday that we could circle and perform.
It's an obvious one, right?
It is. It is. Not necessarily that Martinsburg is uniquely more Irish or uniquely has more St. Patrick's Day. And certainly we've celebrated some really cool things with Fire Chief Quinn in the first couple of years and Irish Hill on the other side of the train tracks. But it's just a fun one. And again, it's hit or miss sometimes with the weather. But, especially after a winter like this one, everybody's just itching to get outside again, to see some friends and spend time in their downtown, right? Like that is our gathering place. It's the heartbeat of a community. So giving people a good opportunity to come down and spend some time with their neighbors.
It's the perfect timing because, like you said, it really kind of signals the end of winter.
Mm-hmm.
You're tired of January and February, and you're ready to get out and do something, and this is the perfect opportunity to do it.
That's right. And I always say that with these festivals, we have a huge core following of people that come downtown a lot, right? We have a big group and a big segment of our population. They just love downtown. They love the progress of the businesses, and they're excited, whether they're locals or transplants, doesn't matter. But for some folks, we are a blue-collar community, and people they work, they come home, they got Little League, they got everything under the sun for their families. Sometimes they only make it downtown for a couple of festivals a year, and it's a really fun kind of barometer for people of, whoa, there's a new boutique over here, and check out that. There's a martini bar. That wasn't here the last time I was here. So, again, it's like we all come out of hibernation for the winter, and, you see the people looking around, seeing all the cool new businesses coming downtown. It's really fun.
How do you all overcome the parking issue? Because I know each year you're building on the amount of people coming in.
Yeah.
And I know I've been down there each year, and they're coming from all the side streets everywhere, coming in and merging into the center area there.
Sure.
But what do you do about parking?
Well, so that's a great question. The first year we did it, we partnered with the EPTA, and they drove the trolley around. We worked with the county to set up a satellite lot and the high school, and they were picking people up, dropping them off, and it was, that was our big scheme to get people down, because we were worried about that. People are going to not come because they're worried that they can't find parking. And what we found was nobody rode the darn thing because it's a beautiful day, right? And
just walk.
Yeah, at maximum, you're probably going to walk like 4 blocks. And you're probably going to walk on, I don't know, lovely Maple Avenue and see some of the old historic homes that you haven't seen in a while. For folks that are mobility, impaired or handicapped, we do obviously have the municipal lots on both sides of Burke Street. This time we aren't going to have the Martin Street lot because we're utilizing it for some of the event, just the way things shake out. But the train station is a block away, and there's parking over there. Buzz over at Union Dodge Sales, he always lets us use his parking lot. They're on Ray Street. And what we find is people actually enjoy getting out and walking a few blocks. And again, it's their chance to see what's new in town. And oh, that house was for sale. Look what they did in their garden. It's nice.
And the further you walk away, the more buildings and offices and stores that you have an opportunity to walk by. And hey, while you're walking by, just walk on in. Do some shopping.
Plus, the more you walk, the more you can eat.
That's exactly right. Well, for me, that's a big challenge we face all the time when we talk about downtown and what people want to see in downtown. And actually, last January, I did a little science experiment. I walked from the garage on King to actually our new offices are over in the Caperton train station. We moved this year. I walked. That's basically the whole of our downtown district, from Raleigh Street to the train station, and it took me less than 9 minutes. And I it was a controlled study. I'm not a scientist, but I also, earlier that day, went for a little grocery shop around Walmart. And wouldn't you know, I walked more in Walmart from my car around to get all my groceries than I did just going from one side of town to the other. And in that, like you said, past a bookstore, past a chocolate store, saw people getting their haircuts. I could have gotten a quote on insurance at Advocate Insurance Group. You name it. Like it's a very all-inclusive downtown.
That's Michelle Sadat, is it not?
That is, yes.
Hey, what streets are you going to have to close on Saturday, Rob?
So the footprint of our event and our map is on our Facebook page, Main Street Martinsburg. We are closing from Race Street to King Street on Queen. And then subsequently the 100 blocks east and west on Burke and Martin. So College and Spring Street are kind of like our buffers there. Then it's Race to King on Queen Street. And, we have stuff happening all throughout.
Was there ever a college over on College Street?
That's a really good question.
People ask me that. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
How did it get the name College Street? That's your challenge for the next appearance.
I'm going to figure that one out
On the show here.
Somebody would be able to say that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Robby, what are the numbers? I know you doing a head count scientifically or mathematically might be a little bit difficult, but clearly this particular event has grown exponentially, and over the years, I've been there the year of the sunburn when it was like 82 and people were just not prepared for that. It was warm, and I can't remember what year.
I think that was 22.
Was it?
And then a week later it was 6.
Yep.
Because it was the home show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was phenomenal to see all those folks out and enjoying. What
we do, we work with the CVB. They have they utilize a service called Placer AI, and what Placer does is they circle the area, and they say how many people were in that area that are not registered Martinsburg cell phones. So like, if you go in there, I know Rob doesn't live in the city of Martinsburg. I live out in the county, so my cell phone counts as a ping that day. But what they don't account for is people who live in the city of Martinsburg.
So mine wouldn't count.
That's right.
Yeah.
And usually what we end up pinging is anywhere between 10 and 13,000 people that are non-Martinsburg residents throughout the event. So that's what we usually rely on. And then we kind of guesstimate it based on, well, hey, there's 18,000 people who live in the city. I wonder how many of them came down for the day.
And then what about economic impact?
That's a good question as well. Right now, it's pretty much an informal polling of businesses after the fact. But Placer actually does have the ability to pull some of those things as well. We just have never done that.
Do you do any work with the Contemporary American Theater Festival when that's active to tie Martinsburg into the influx of visitors to Shepherdstown?
It's a great question. I have had meetings with the folks over at CAFTIS, or whatever the acronym is.
CATF.
CATF. I have had meetings with them. We have not been able to successfully, coordinate anything up until this point. But yes, we've sat down a couple of times and talked about, because I think Shepherdstown's pretty much bursting at the seams for that festival. Mm-hmm. And now that they don't have the Clarion as a hotel, a lot of people stay in Martinsburg, which, hey, best case scenario, we don't have to deal with, excess stuff when we get the hotel motel tax.
Even better for Parks and Rec.
That's right.
So are all the businesses open? Do they choose to open? Because, my focus is obviously, walking through the streets and maybe finding a beer truck or two.
Yeah.
But are most of the businesses open?
Yeah.
Or
There's very few businesses that will close for the day. Mm-hmm. Most of them try to participate in some fashion. And one of the things that we've done this year, we put out our map. And our map has all of the temporary people that come in for the day, all the vendors, all the food trucks, where our beer garden is, where the stage is, because that's unfamiliar to people. So we have to educate people so they know where to go the day of. This year, one of the things that we've done, and it'll last throughout the year, we actually also have a digital directory that it's free. You don't have to do anything. It's on our website. It's on our Facebook page. And it pulls up every business's address, hours, their website, little blurb about all of them. And it's for our whole district, not just the people in the event. And you'll also see whenever you click on the Discover the District directory, for the day of St. Patrick's Day, we're going to be doing a little raffle. We're calling it a pot of gold, because it's cliche. But we have a little basket that has, some gold coins from DeFleury's. We got a plant from Wandering Roots, our lovely plant store. We've got some Main Street stuff, a Yeti cooler from Orsini's, all sorts of fun things. And all you have to do is go downtown, put your email in, and while you're there, just check into a few of the businesses while you're shopping and, paying it in. It's super simple, and we're giving a little raffle away for it.
Chris Montgomery on our Facebook comment section asks, is Bike Night ever coming back?
I don't anticipate Bike Night coming back. I've thought about, everybody loved Bike Night, and everybody, I get that one a lot. I've thought about kind of tongue-in-cheek doing something now that we have a bike trail, like having a bike bicycle.
Not those
night.
Kind of bikes.
Bicycle.
Yeah.
But no, I do not anticipate Bike Night returning.
Well, and the Blue Knights is no more. That organization
that was a big part of Bike Night,
that really was at the front end of the planning of that, obviously with the city as well, but they disbanded. Mm-hmm. So that was who did a lot of the planning there.
Yeah.
So
you're not bringing back Eric Estrada to downtown Martinsburg anytime soon,
no.
Right?
But I'll tell you, that was a wonderful event for hospice as well, because they gave a portion of the proceeds to our agency, and so we were always out there with our tent and all of that, and oh my gosh, it was wildly popular. For sure.
I did see Eric Estrada doing a Medicare supplement commercial the other day, by the way. So he's joined. I guess J.J. Walker didn't get a renewal on that one. So.
Yeah, take whoever they can get. So, Robby, with the after yesterday, we're kind of smelling spring, and we've talked a little bit about. We talked a lot this morning about what's coming up this weekend. We know about the home show coming up later. What else is going to be going on in downtown Martinsburg, spring and summertime, that you have on your radar?
Sure. Right around the corner, of course, is our Wine and Shine Festival over at Boydville. It's it actually is right now our only ticketed event. No. We did do the main event in January, but it's one of our only ticketed events that we do. It's out at Boydville. This year, headlining it is the Reagan Years. We also have Hot Fun and Cashmere performing, so pretty much anybody who's listening and they like to dance, it's going to be a fun day. Early bird tickets are on sale up until, I think, Sunday. So it's one of your last chances to get it at the most affordable rate. And then, of course, we have our summer concert series right around the corner. We always look forward to that because it's really just like a great opportunity for people to get together and choose to spend time downtown to start their weekend. Some good music and visit all of our restaurants. And we also, as of the past 2 years, we've been one of the major sponsors and contributors to the kids concert series that's on Thursdays.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and when with the library being down right now, I can't think of a more important thing than kids programming, especially over the summer when it's really tough. So that starts up here in June as well.
So talk a little bit about your new location. We're pretty excited. The Chamber of Commerce's Government Affairs Committee is coming for a visit next Wednesday, so I won't be here then because I'm going to go visit Robby.
That's next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Mark it down.
So
Maria absent.
Yeah, that's right. Substitute needed.
Unexcused absence.
Unexcused
you
absence.
get 5 of those, you get suspended.
I
heard that.
would imagine.
Yeah.
But I fill in other places too. But anyway,
Yeah.
So talk about your new location and
Sure.
what that's brought to you as Main Street.
Well, I think it just goes to show how good our relationship with the city of Martinsburg is, and that's something that, as the director, I really value. We are not the city of Martinsburg.
That's right.
We are a 501c3. I have a board of directors that I answer to who operates outside of the government world. That being said, we could not do what we do without the city of Martinsburg's endorsement and support of what we do. And that is the Main Street model, right? That's not abnormal for main streets across the country to have a great relationship with their city hall. But I'm really thankful for it. And it's a city of Martinsburg owned property, of course. And it's great because it's all other nonprofits in there, like the Eastern West Virginia Community Foundation is in there, the Farmland Protection, Children's Advocacy. Like it's nice being like a group of the same realm of people. We're on the 5th floor there, and it's a great office. I have to say, I really, really enjoy going to work now because it's really cozy, and the light in there's just been very, very, very refreshing for my work soul. But yeah, it's also been it's been saving us money in some of the rent costs. We were paying much more for at the hub suites that we are now. So it's been a great relief for our organization, both financially and it's a little bit of a upgrade for us.
Robby Blair, our guest here on the program, as we circle back in the final couple of minutes here to the St. Patrick's Day Festival coming up this Saturday, 11 a.m. until 6, and the food trucks, Robert, what are you serving there?
Oh gosh, we've got a whole bunch. It's the usual suspects. I actually don't have that list in front of me. I know that right down by the beer garden, the Mountain Dog hot dogs folks are going to be there. Toasted, of course, is going to be there. Food by Fire. Go on and on.
And you feel confident because some of the, I don't want to say complaints, but some of the comments in years gone by is just the length of the lines and how long it takes. I mean, that's not your thing to see how long a food it takes to get it prepared.
Right.
But do you feel confident? Have they sort of fixed some of those issues, do you think?
I think it's a little bit of the nature of the beast with the food truck, right? Like, that's what you're
It's
getting
hot,
into.
it's fresh, it's made to order.
Yeah.
It's not like it's been prepared an hour ahead of time.
Right.
It's sitting
I agree.
there.
And if you have just a whole bunch of people coming at one time,
Right.
you need to expect.
I think the alternatively, we've got more restaurants downtown than really in a long time, and there's still a few more that are on the way, but I mean, if the lines are just simply too long, then I would just encourage people to pop into Stoney's, go to Bricks 27, sit down, slow down for a little bit. Mama Boyd's is open now on on Queen Street. You can pop into Peking, Martinsburg, Sweet Hut, the Berkeley. The list goes on and on for food options, and I would encourage people. I mean, Habanero usually sells out of food for the day.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of good food in downtown Martinsburg right now, and that's really why we do it.
And that's a huge cooperation between lots of agencies to make you be able to say that, between the city of Martinsburg and Main Street Martinsburg. That is absolutely huge, that you can say we have that many restaurants and food places, and these food trucks have huge followings.
Absolutely.
They sure do. Yeah. It's a great day for a foodie.
Yeah. And I've waited my time. Toasted comes out to our campus every now and again for special occasions, and you got to wait because it's worth the wait.
That's right. That's right. And if, again, you put your order in, you've waited really long, and you know it's going to be another 20 minutes, golly, go buy something for your wife, over at Savannah Grace or at Westwood Charm or Nikki Visions, Jordan Hess. There's plenty of places to shop, plenty of things to do in downtown Martinsburg, and we want people to be entertained.
My wife just settles for chocolate.
Ah, there you go.
So
there you go.
And
DeFlurry's is a good option there.
DeFlurry's is always
the best option.
Yeah.
How many food trucks will there be roughly?
I believe it's 20 is the number.
That's a pretty good number. And you're expecting how many thousand people?
I would say no less than 10,000. With the weather looking,
we're shooting for 50,000, right?
That's right. Yeah. With the weather
high.
looking that way and as brutal of a winter as we've had, I think people are itching to get outside.
The goal at one point was to try to do one big thing a month. How close are you to doing that through the calendar year? Obviously, the weather doesn't make that as easy in the winter.
Rob, I'm glad you brought that up. Whenever I started, I look back sometimes at some of the interviews when I came on here, and I'm like, boy, oh boy, was that guy naive.
One a month. I got to tell you, event planning.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that I'm learning that's not necessarily the end all be all for a Main Street. There's a lot other stuff to be done. But our ambassador program actually puts out 4 events a week.
That's pretty good.
Downtown. So I didn't even realize it, but I met that goal. We've met that goal. It's just differently.
St. Patty's Festival this Saturday, 11 a.m. until 6. Get out and enjoy yourselves.
Yes, please.
Be responsible.
Thank you. See you all there. Make sure if you see me, give me a wave.
We'll do it.
We're back with more right after these. Thank you, Robby.